Hey everybody, welcome back to the I Don't Mo Show. I'm Charlie P.
I'm Nathan J.
And this is episode 7 coming at you.
Oh, thank God, man. We've been wanting to do this for a week now, even though we said we were going to do 1 to 2 a week, and we're trying to fulfill that promise.
Yeah, we're trying to get it in there, but it's been a week, so, we're right on schedule, I feel.
If we were recording at the beginning, the show would probably be a half hour long, considering we were sitting here recording the intro over and over.
Yeah, couldn't figure out the intro, so it is what it is. We're just doing
Anybody
it.
got any ideas? Come on, drop a line, put it in the comments, put it on Facebook, be like, open up like this.
Just open up some way, maybe like a song or something.
Yeah, that'd be
Recommend
good.
something like that.
It's just something to start. I know every podcast either has a problem like closing or they have a problem filling. In our case, we have a problem opening. So it hasn't really been talked about by anyone but us, But I think, if anyone, our biggest critic is ourselves. So we just want to give you the best thing every time, really.
It took us about 30 takes just to get on this one. So, it's okay with me, though.
There was a lot of laughs in it, so it's not like it was horrible.
We're trying, people.
Well, like you said, this is episode 7, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't believe we made it this far. Really. All things.
Yeah, our last
being
episode
said,
got really, really good reception.
Yeah,
so,
last couple, and even some of the earlier videos are starting to catch on, and people are trying to listen to get the whole process going. I know we got a lot of viewers. We just got into 26 subscribers, so that's just been really cool and all in itself. And on Facebook, and if any of you are on Facebook, and if you're not, I'm assuming some of you obviously did not have Facebook, and if you don't, what we're doing is when we reach 100 likes on Facebook and, of course, respectively, 30 subscribers on YouTube, there will be just 4 more. There'll be a $10 Jimmy John's gift card to someone at random. We'll have a random drawing system. There's apps for that pretty much, and we'll draw somebody from random.
Yep.
And then on the last one, we're gonna do like a scavenger hunt. That's been kind of popular from like the reception I've gotten from people. They think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it will be in either Washington, Union, or St. Clair, located in Franklin County.
Right.
We haven't decided where we're going to hide it yet. Obviously, we're going to make sure it's hidden somewhere where no one's just going to walk past it and be like, "Oh, free Jimmy John's."
Yeah.
It's going to go to the person, and
we're going to
we want to make sure it's someone listening. That way, it's not just someone random and that nature. That at least knows about the show, and we'll put it somewhere. We're going to give clues.
We're going to have little clues sparsed throughout everything, and it'll be fun.
My clue...
I don't know the details yet.
We don't really know if I was going to say there was going to be clue. The only clue that I can say is that you will pass it every single day if you drive on 47. Let's put it that way.
That's a lot of things.
You'll see it. Let's just put it that way. That doesn't mean it's right next to the road.
Yep.
So you can see it from 47. That's your only clue. So, and hey, like you said, we'll drop some more clues. We'll get the details out there going on that. And of course, the first Jimmy John's gift card is still up and running for our current banner, our wallpaper, as you will, for the I Don't Mo Show. We want something that's us. And
deadline coming up for that one.
May 1st.
May 1st,
May
everybody.
1st is when we came up with that.
So get your submissions in. Just click that, contact us, little contact us button.
You can click and contact us on
Facebook. Or is there one on YouTube?
You can, the email is in our the main page.
So it all just goes.
Automatically. You can email us there. You can email us on the I Don't Mo Show at Gmail. It's going to be good. We've had a lot of good things happen recently. We had the big O event in Rolla, Missouri, the St. Pat's event. I know a lot of people on Facebook got to check out some of the really cool pictures. That's going to be a part of what we do, is we really want to get out there and be like, at local areas and set up live and interviews. It's going to be a big part of the show. I know a lot of people are asking that are going to be interviewed on the show. It's really not even like a favoritism at this point. It's more of like it has to be the right place, right time.
Yep.
We want, what we're going to talk about for everyone to be comfortable that we interview. We have the questions in line. I know people are kind of pushing towards that, but it's all part of the process. So don't worry, we're going to give you everything. We're going to give you everything quality. Like we said before, this is a Missouri-based podcast, so we're giving you Missouri stuff. Charlie, what do we got on the docket?
Missouri-based stuff.
Missouri-based stuff. What's going on in Missouri?
That's what we have. What's going on in Missouri? We got opening day on Thursday for the Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals. Thank God.
Yeah.
I know this year's gone by really fast, but I don't know. I've been waiting. I've been
Finally.
ready. I think it's a little overdue, in my opinion. It's like, come on, ready.
Well,
but the weather is just getting
Just getting good, you know. I hope it stays that way though, because I don't know. I haven't looked at the weather lately, but it hasn't been what they say it is.
Yeah, it's been really. I don't trust.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. It's been raining. It's been sunny. It's been sunny while it's raining. It's
warm and then really, really cold immediately. Anytime the sun starts to go down. So,
but
I mean, that's Missouri. Wait 5 minutes as usual. So.
Yep. And what else do we have? What else do we have for Missouri?
Well, Missouri, I mean, the Blues. The Blues are exceeding expectations dramatically. I mean, according
to tearing it up.
What? I mean, yeah, they're tearing it up. The percentages online are, I think, like The Athletic has them at 99.7%. I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure we're getting in there. I mean, I'm going to upgrade us to like 90% now, and say that the Blues will make the playoffs. It's the position. I don't know where we're going to land just yet.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll make it past the first round, maybe, of the playoffs.
I mean,
possibly.
I mean, the first round, if the playoffs, not the playoffs, if the regular season ended today, we'd be playing the Predators.
Yeah.
And if we leapfrog the Predators, we're still playing the Predators in the first round. The only difference is if the Blues leapfrog them, then we play the first 2 games at home ice advantage. So I don't know if we really are looking to get the first, because if we are the first, wild card, we would be probably playing either the Avalanche, the Stars, or the Coyotes, and the only team we've been really good on that against that list is the Avalanche. Dallas has our number. Phoenix has our number for some reason. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't think it matters, because once you're in, it really doesn't matter. Just get in, and I mean the way the Blues been playing lately, especially since like some of the top teams in hockey, it's just
it's so weird. It's just backwards that we're just really good against really good teams, and we're really bad against really bad teams.
And it is an odd thing to have happen. I don't know if it's that overconfidence of like, oh yeah, we totally got these guys. Let's get it. I got this. You know.
Like I
mean, I've done that. I've played on teams just like that. Oh, these dudes, man, they only got like 5 guys, bro.
Yeah, but they do it every time, though. I don't understand that. Like, they would get cocky, and then maybe they'd learn a lesson, but they just do it every single time, and it makes me very, very angry.
Well, I mean, we've all been here. Anyone that knows anything about the Blues at all knows we've been here 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And we've had the best record. We've had the best team. We've had the best setup, and then just something happens. It doesn't matter. It could go back to Steve Yzerman's goal. It could go to, in the first 3 seasons that we were in the NHL, made it to the Stanley Cup and lost all 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about having, Brett Hall and Brendan Shanahan and Curtis Joseph on your team, and Wayne Gretzky, I might add, and you can't win one.
You can't win one.
So, I mean, it's just, it's difficult, but it's really good to see that they're playing like you expect them to play. That's how we expected them to play at the beginning of the season. And then they, pretty much just, sitting on the toilet the whole time for some reason.
They were just.
I mean, I have a feeling, it was the coach, but we've seen this before where they get rid of the coach and they start playing really good,
and then they start playing really bad,
and then they play really good again. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I do know. I don't think it's going to matter what happens this season with Stanley Cup or not. I don't think a few of the guys will be there.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to look very different next year, especially with the goalie situation and Jake Allen. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jake Allen's going to play. We have to have him. It's just unfortunate that we have to rely on him.
We better have some new goalies next year. That's all I got to say.
I mean,
whether we win or not, whether we go all the way to the Cup or not, we better get some new goalies.
I'm thinking if we get, when we get in, I say for sure we win one round. After that, it's always in the air.
You think we'd win the first round? You think we'd move past?
I do. I say it like if we have home ice, like against the Predators, I see it going like 6.
Right.
If we don't, I see it going 7. Just because I see you like losing one and then winning one and then kind of back and forth, just because you're so close.
Series, yeah.
But it's this Predators team is a little bit different than they have been. I mean, they still got a lot of good guys, but they've added a whole bunch of new guys based on their experience and veteran, and they don't know each other that well yet. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about little things like, the Blackhawks. I don't think they're making it. I think they have a 12% chance.
No, man, they're in the basement.
Yeah, they're in the basement. But then you got, the Red Wings. They're not making it this year. It's the first time in, how long, or 3 times in a row they haven't made it, or some ridiculous number after, going that crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's like you got all these teams that have given you trouble. Now you got other teams giving you trouble. So, I mean, honestly, the Sharks and the Jets are really the only teams, and maybe even the Flames. That's just because I don't know, man. That team's crazy, but
right.
We would be in the Western Conference Final if we played any of those teams.
Like,
you got to go through the Central first.
Who are the Blackhawks playing tonight? Are they playing?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I think they're playing like the Avalanche or something like that. But
yeah, all the games are gonna
good for the go Blackhawks. Just defeat those Avalanche, defeat those Dallas Stars, whoever you're playing tonight. Knock those points out of their hands.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Go for it.
I just want us to get in. I love playoff hockey. I've been to playoff games, and it's an amazing experience.
Right.
Watching TV doesn't do it justice to actually go in there, but I love both of them equally. So, Cardinals games. I think I like to watch more than I like to go.
I love to go to Cardinals games.
When I get to go though, it's just everything: the smell and the feel and the atmosphere. And
that's what I'm looking forward to this summer. I'm definitely going to one or two at least.
You've had some family go down to spring training recently, right?
Yeah, my mom went down, and my uncle, and a couple of family friends went down with them to Jupiter to go watch the Cardinals at spring training.
Nice, and they brought you back a sweet hat.
Yeah, they brought me back a sweet hat, but they also, went and saw the Yankees play, and then they saw, I think they saw Detroit play when they got destroyed, like 11-1 or something like that.
Oh wow,
it was insane. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was really good time. I saw pictures from it. It looked like a good time, and just beach and sun and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Stuff that I want to do.
Oh, I feel you there.
I want to get out in the sun. I want to feel the warmth.
I'm ready. I know. I can't. My new barbecue pit comes in the mail tomorrow. I'm excited to. It's got a smoker attached to it. I can't wait to smoke so many meats. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
Smoked meats, dude. Smoked meats, bruh.
But things in Missouri, sports-wise, are going very steady. They're going very good at any time they are. It's a good day.
Playing the Brewers. I think it's is it an evening game or no? It's a day game.
It's a day game.
It's a day game. Playing the Brewers Thursday.
2 games, and then you have the day off. And
so be there. Be square, everybody. Thursday.
I'm excited. I'm kind of sick of us starting away. We've done that like the last 3 years or something. I'm not a giant fan of that. But hey, everyone's got to
take their turn.
Got to take their turn. Just like the All-Star game coming to St. Louis for hockey next year. And
that's
first time in almost 30 years. So that's the way it goes. Rotation.
They just had the Winter Classic here, so that was cool.
Which was awesome. We beat Blackhawks in that game.
That's cool that we back to backed.
Oh yeah,
almost.
Right.
Almost back to back.
But other sports. I want an NBA team. We got a soccer team.
Rob Gronkowski retired. That's something else.
Hey,
in
Rob
sports.
Gronkowski, he did retire.
29 years old. He's only 2 years older than me.
But look how many Super Bowls he's got. He don't need no more.
He's got so many millions of dollars.
He says he hasn't even spent a dime of his paid salary. The only thing he's ever spent money, his only
his bonus?
type of money is his bonus and his endorsement deals.
Wow,
it's the only money he's ever spent.
Dude, he's just sitting on piles of cash,
man.
Because he's got 8-9 seasons under his belt, something like that.
And he's got 4 championships. Brady has 6, but I think Gronk was only around for 4.
He's sitting pretty.
Yeah.
He's living the dream. Retired by 30. It's gonna be a wild time for him. You think he's gonna do the commentator thing?
No.
No, you think he's gonna stay out of the spotlight, kind of?
I guarantee he's gonna show up to places. He's gonna be obligated in some form or way, probably. Will at least keep up appearances. He'll get bored, is what's gonna happen.
I don't know. It just blew my mind.
He's a party guy, so it's probably what he wants to keep doing.
Just kind of caught me off guard. I was like, wow, you're retired already, huh?
He's been talking about it just because of his injuries and the type of injury he's had, and maybe he's just I want to go out on top, and it's the way to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though if he comes back out of retirement. A lot of guys been doing that lately. So
Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre. And, now Jason Witten of the Cowboys, he's doing it. He's coming back, and it's just weird. The football's gonna be weird next year. Joe Flacco on the Broncos, and
it's gonna be really strange.
It's gonna be really strange. Antonio Brown on the Raiders, and Le'Veon Bell on the Jets, and it's
Antonio Brown moving to the Raiders. That's weird.
That's crazy. On the draft board, Drew Lock of Missouri, he's been pushed back again because of all the trades happening. The needs of people are different, obviously.
Oh, I see.
So he's moved back in the draft board, but they're saying he could go to the Raiders and play up with Derek Carr because John Gruden is one of those kind of guys that
John Gruden is hoping for Antonio Brown to just be one of the greatest Raiders of all time.
I mean, he's not going to be no Jerry Rice or anything.
That's what he's banking on right now.
I just don't see it. It's what he's banking on, though.
Please save this franchise, please.
I mean, I don't really know what I have an opinion on of Chucky, John Gruden. I mean,
I like him.
I
think he's funny.
I need to see him in action again, maybe.
Just because, I don't know. I watched all those mic'd up videos and stuff on YouTube, and he's just a funny guy.
Right.
You know, he's just really, really, really brash, really, really honest, though.
Right.
He'll tell it to you like it is. You know, he's one of those guys.
I mean, but he's also one of them guys that almost likes like everybody, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he'll come up and apologize afterwards.
Oh yeah.
But you know, in the moment, he'll be pretty PO'd.
Right.
So
true.
So yeah, that's pretty much sports. I mean, that's all the news from sports.
I mean, the only kind of news we're interested in are the people that we know are interested in sports wise.
Yep.
You know. So. I mean, it's kind of hard, too, when you only got 2 sports to talk about. I mean, opening day, we can't really talk about it. We're not talking about spring training because the record, and I don't care what you see. Oh, my God, look at the record. That's spring training, man.
It's spring training.
You know, the people that are playing those games and stuff. So
you don't know nothing until they get on the field opening day.
So, I mean, Cardinals signed Matt Wieters as the full-time backup to Molina, so you'll definitely see him playing more games.
Yep, instead of Pena.
That doesn't mean that he's, taking over Yachty. No one's saying that. But, you have to come to reality. Eventually, he's going to stop. So,
yeah, he's getting up there in age,
And he's already said he wants to finish as a Cardinal. He's probably got 1 or 2 years left, and that's fine. I mean,
then he's going to be a coaching staff.
I believe so.
Oh yeah,
I highly believe so.
Part of the coaching
he knows the game too well not to.
He's already basically the manager on the field.
I could see him taking a break for a while, but he's going to be another one of those type of person that gets bored. He's going to want to get back into the game. It's always the way it goes.
Yep. Mike Schilt, hopefully, doing another great job.
I'm going to wait till the end of this season for my assessment of Mike Schilt.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully he does another pretty good season.
Dexter Fowler scares me. Marcelo Zuna scares me.
Yeah, they're both just.
It's just there's things that scare me.
Marcelo Zuna is hurt still. His stuff's never going to heal. And
there's Carpenter, who we want him to be. I know Goldie will be who we want him to be.
Oh yeah. Because he pulled out a couple homers in spring training. So.
Colton Wong, I think he'll be pretty much the same he was before he got hurt last year. So I think it's going to be good for the Cardinals. Either way, I mean, it's a long season, 162 games. So I mean, lots and lots of things can happen. So
and does Tommy Pham play for Tampa Bay now?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. I thought I saw him on their team.
I mean, he had a bat, but his attitude was not Cardinals. He's like Oakland A's material, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, so he's a little rough around the edges.
I mean, it's just no.
Yeah.
Maybe Billy Bean one day can sort him out if he ever goes there.
Maybe.
So, but yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Sports. We just kind of wanted to get that out of the way because, I mean, when there's not much news, go
sweet,
Blues, go Cardinals. Everything's good. We don't want to jinx anything either. So we're not going to go rambling on about what we think needs to happen with the team. I think we've already pointed out what our thoughts of this team. I mean, you go back to episode 1 or 2. It's like, oh man, I don't know. We had a low percentage on everything. Yep. And they went on that 11-game win streak, and, that's what they had to do. They're like, I want to go to the playoffs. And I mean, and that shows me that this team wants to win.
Yep.
That's what excites me. And they're playing like it.
They're playing like it now.
So, and they're making up when they know they mess up. They just get right back in it because we said they had to be consistent. If you're going to lose, and they lost a couple, then they got right back on the horse and win it again.
Right.
They're getting the big points. They went 4-0 on this last homestand. We're going away for, I think, 2 or 3 coming up. We play the Rangers on Friday.
Yep.
So a little bit of a break in there between. And like you said, Cardinals opening day, Thursday against Brewers.
It's against the Brewers, so we got Thursday and Friday.
That's right, St. Louis.
St. Louis be the place to be.
That's why you're on with the Idomo Show.
So what else we got? I got something cool in science.
You know what? I've been wanting to hear about some science. Hit me with some knowledge.
So you remember the Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton they found? They named it Sue. You remember that? It was way back in I don't know if it was I think it was in the early 90s. They found it. It was the biggest and most complete skeleton that they ever found. Well, now in Canada, I forgot where, I think in Ontario somewhere, they found one that's 400 kilograms, I think, something like that. 400 kilograms heavier than Sue. So it's way, way bigger. So the Tyrannosaurus Rex was apparently way bigger than what we thought. Like, we thought Sioux was like the top of the line, but apparently there were like way bigger Tyrannosaurus Rex out there.
Wow.
And they top out at like 20,000 pounds or so, we thought. And the biggest animal on Earth right now is the African bush elephant, which is 26,000 pounds.
Right, an elephant.
So this thing weighed, you know, in excess of one of those African bush elephants, and there could have been even bigger ones out there. And there were like super deep scars in his bones and stuff, so he was a fighter. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, apparently they found a way, way bigger Tyrannosaurus Rex out there. So dinosaurs just keep surprising us. The more and more we find.
We were talking about dinosaur stuff the other day is because, like, especially where we are, it's like there's always been talk because this is one of the areas where if you started digging in certain areas, you probably will find dinosaur bones. And man, that's always been like a a dream fantasy of mine, as just digging up and finding a dinosaur bone.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Because they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere out here.
And I just man, that was always one of my dreams, to be a paleontologist.
Right.
Correct. Is that how you pronounce
paleontologist?
that?
Yeah.
Right.
Archaeologists is for like people,
right?
And
Indiana Jones,
and stuff.
Right? Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, taking poison, a little bit of both. But I think I'd rather just be digging for bones instead of dealing with snakes and spiders and all that junk. So.
And it took them a really, really long time to excavate this. They had to do a bunch of because it's not the most extensive one they found. So Sioux still holds that trophy of being the most extensive skeleton that they found.
Right.
But this one is the biggest one.
Just like because they can do reconstruction of what it originally looked like.
Reconstruction of what it would look like, and just estimates with
right.
The crazy maths that all these scientists do and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And also another thing in science, they are saying now that the supervolcano under Yellowstone is no longer, like, it's not overdue or anything like that. Like, it's not going to blow anytime soon, because there's 725,000 years between each eruption that it's had in the past. Like, it's gone from like 2 million years ago to like 1 million years ago to like 0.63 million years ago, something like that.
Right.
So there's roughly like 725,000 years. So if that were the case, then we would still have 100,000 years left before it would be quote unquote due to blow up. So this guy, his name's Michael Poland. He's a volcanologist up in Yellowstone, and he studies it. And he's like, yeah, you can't really, put a schedule on a volcano, but if that were true and it was on a schedule, we would still have another 100,000 years. So all these doomsday people that are like, oh my God, it's going to blow any day or any minute, are just crazy apocalyptic-minded people.
Right.
That are
just looking for something.
Looking for something, just like the Mayans in 2012,
Right.
That actually wasn't really the end of the world. It was just the end of their calendar.
Right.
And their calendar would just start back over at zero.
Right.
And go from there. So that was another doomsday,
Which is
the sky is falling, the sky is falling,
right.
kind of thing.
That's kind of crazy, though. I mean, that's good news.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what about the activity? Is it just, the Earth?
It's just normal, it's just normal activity, normal rumblings of a big volcano.
Right. I mean, do you predict, though, I mean, just in your mind, that something's going to happen, especially like on the West Coast?
Well,
you think that,
if
that
this Michael Poland guy's
about?
Correct, then I kind of got to go with him, since he's been studying it the longest and stuff. I don't see any danger in it.
Right.
I don't think it's anytime soon, like he said.
Right.
And if it were on a schedule, like you said, we'd still have another 100,000 years before it went off. So who knows where we'd be by then? I'd be dead.
I was going to say lots of our history and tree would be dead by then. So it's okay.
Yep, it'll be good. But yeah, that's no longer a doomsday thing. So don't listen
sleep better at night now.
Don't listen to History Channel, people.
I mean, it's entertaining. That's
why,
it
gives people, something to think about or whatever.
Not too many people like the true facts of things, Yeah. Then they'll take one person.
Sorry to drop a fact bomb on you.
Yeah, like I'll take this guy's word for it. You know? But I mean, that's. I mean, also it's good news, and if it's something like that, of course I'm gonna go for it. Like, okay, but. I mean, does that mean something could change like tomorrow?
Yeah,
sure.
it could, sure. It could change tomorrow.
Something could happen, but I think it would be something extra, something of that nature. So that's really cool, though. Yeah. I definitely dig the dinosaur.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know that. Is there anywhere that I mean, I know dinosaur bones have been found here, but like most of the time you hear about it is like Montana and Canada and anywhere where it's not like cold.
I mean, like that's where like all the bigger like the bigger finds happen, like
Right.
your Tyrannosaurus Rexes and your, you know, your Brachiosauruses and all that stuff. But
Right.
like around here would be a bunch of small animals, small
Right.
reptiles, whatever you want to call them, dinosaurs.
Right.
You know, like your little raptors.
And I would assume ones
stuff
here
like that.
would be very deep. You would have to dig very deep,
Probably.
very long time, very expansive area.
Most
to
likely,
ever have a
because
chance to
this
find.
was all under ice, like
Right.
after they died. So
Right,
you know, it's
right.
probably way under
Way under there.
under the, you know, it could be
I
way
didn't know
underneath
animals.
these lakes around here or whatever, you know.
Right, which is that's another thing that'd be really cool.
So yeah, there's a lot of lakes around here. So it could be big dinosaurs buried under there or something.
Right.
Who knows? Table Rock Lake.
That's true. When they say there's giant catfish in there the size of Volkswagens. So, I mean,
I went swimming in there. I'm scared now.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they say. You know, divers have seen it back in the day, and people have disappeared and all that kind of stuff. You know,
Wow.
makes you want to. I wish that river monster guy would go and check that out one time. You know, see about
Not
getting
gonna
get
lie.
a giant one.
I felt something nibbling at my toes. No, I was just tubing. I was just tubing.
That's stupid.
My toes weren't even in the water.
I mean, you know, there's so many things at the bottom. You never know unless you dove on it or something like that. So
Some kind of
how you
sonar or
supposed to know?
something. Oh
Right.
man. I don't want to know.
I don't want to
know.
know. I don't want to know either.
I don't want to know what's down there. What
I mean,
else
I like to
swimming
find it, but I want it to be convenient.
Yep.
If I do, I want to kick something. Oh, what's that? Is that a rock? Wait, that's not a rock.
That's not a rock.
man,
It's a
it's-
giant
It's
catfish.
a giant catfish. Wow. Well, movies.
Yeah, that was
Movie
Science
news.
Corner. Moving on to Movie Corner.
I mean, honestly, there's always going to be movie news. This movie's coming out. I think we've gone over a lot of the stuff that is coming out this year that we're looking forward to. We're going to have, when we have guests soon, we're going to talk about, our most anticipated, what's coming up at the end of the year, because a lot of the big stuff is coming more closer to the end of the year. But there are a lot of good things coming out in the next few months. John Wick, Hellboy. Got Avengers Endgame that's coming. Obviously, that's a ginormous movie. It'll probably rule until Star Wars comes out in December.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Star Wars, there's a couple of things Star Wars news. Obviously, the big Disney merger was official a few nights ago at midnight.
At midnight.
The Fox acquisition, if you didn't know, Disney has acquired Fox for obviously lots and lots of American dollars. And they pretty much own all the rights. And it is in part of Disney launching Disney Plus streaming service, which it's not dropped yet, right? Or is
I don't think so, no.
It's about to, though. It's like very soon.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars Land just opened, and obviously if anyone's seen pictures out there where it's literally like people are actual elbow to elbow trying to get in this place, which obviously we knew that would be the way it is. But when it comes to Star Wars, they have announced that Benioff and Weiss, the creators and guys that do Game of Thrones, are going to do a Old Republic. I can't really say Knights of the Old Republic because that's a series, that's a game.
Yeah.
But they're going to explore, at least I believe 800 to 1,000 years back of what it used to be like in Star Wars. So that's really huge news when it comes to Star Wars. I know I'm very excited about to see a different area, a different perspective. Finally, maybe get some answers to some things. Maybe meet some new characters that can go on to the later movies, and when you see signs in the movies that we know so much, we can be like, oh yeah, that's connected to that. So finally, we're getting on board with that.
A little backtracking. It drops fall 2019.
Right.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It says fall?
Yeah, fall 2019.
Okay.
So
that's
later
good.
on this year.
Okay. Well, I'm excited.
yeah.
And I mean, they like I think we talked about in the last episode that every Disney movie ever, I'm pretty much sure anything Disney.
Anything and everything
will be eventually. They're not dropping everything at once,
Not
but
at once.
eventually it will be there.
Yeah.
I'm not really too sure about if they're going to do a thing where they're going to take and remove stuff.
They're probably going to do a Netflix style thing, but I don't know about taking it off, but I think they'll release.
I think they're going to have a silver, gold, and platinum package, in my opinion. Eventually, it'd be like, do you want
if
everything?
You get platinum, then you get
do
everything.
Do you want Disney and Fox, or do you want just
Disney, or
the
do you
basic?
want just Fox, or do you want
I think it'll be because that's the thing about it is it's astronomical, honestly.
so much
how much stuff they acquired. We're talking Simpsons, we're talking Family Guy, we're talking this, we're talking
We
that.
talked the other night. Ripley is a Disney princess now.
Yeah,
because
Ripley from
she's
Aliens
owned
is
by
a Disney princess now.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's crazy.
It's really crazy to think about. But, I mean, it's awesome at the same time. I mean, Ripley deserves some respect. I know a couple people have said, like, because of this acquisition that we don't know if there's going to be any more Alien movies. But to be honest with you, I think this helps it more. Because of this, we're going to have X-Men, be part of the MCU and all that good stuff. And I just believe that all these properties, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you do them?
Like, I don't know. I don't know why you would just stop. Yeah.
Considering Alien 5, which erases Alien 3 and Resurrection, and it will start like immediately after Alien 2, and everything that happened in Alien 3 was just a dream,
right?
And that's how it starts. And then she learns, and she makes a alien suit, and so you can get really close to him and things of that nature. So everything's ready, like the story, the screenplay, everything is ready to go. Even the cast, everyone's on board. It's just on the shelf,
waiting for the merger to
get
done.
There's tons of things on the shelf, so I'm sure. Hopefully, it'll be one of those.
Tons of money though.
Alien Covenant scared people.
Alien Covenant was awesome.
I enjoyed that movie a lot.
I liked it.
I get the things that people were upset about, but it's not enough to ruin the experience of movie for me. People were upset about the David thing. They were upset about that
he switched out right at the very end.
It didn't end and immediately start up for the original Alien. It didn't do this, it didn't do that.
There's so many things I want to say right now, but I can't.
I know, they involve curse words.
They involve curse words, and I can't say them, but yeah,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying.
I'll go on a limb say right now that, I mean, I know we're not really critics, but we critique things. Critics suck.
Yeah, critics.
Like, I mean,
I'll critique a critic. Yeah, they suck.
If I could pray for one thing that has to do with television or anything, it would pray that Rotten Tomatoes gets wiped off the face of the earth.
I wish it would go away because it ranks so many good movies trash.
And then so many bad movies just amazing. And
right.
It's because the exchanging of money. There's like literally scientific, mathematical proof that these movies that are destroying for us and these critics are pandering. Yeah. And then you go back to who the source is of that. It's the trail. It's like the Kevin Bacon thing. Kevin Bacon was in, Meryl Streep and
like the 9 degrees of Kevin Bacon or
exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
It's going back, and I guarantee you that's the world we live in now. It's just like, the sports betting and thing. It's just money's just changing hands. It's annoying.
Not the sports betting, just the Rotten Tomatoes crap. I wish it would just stop.
And the reason I'm talking about the Rotten Tomatoes stuff is that we just watched a movie that I thought was amazing, and that was The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
And it was really just pandered and puked on and just hated by so many people. Why? Because you didn't follow the book exactly.
I mean, like I said, I'm listening to the book on audiobook right now. I'm not reading it, but I'm listening to it, and it doesn't follow the book at all, but I didn't mind that. It was an okay twist on it. It was a good little, whatever they're trying to do. If they were trying to leave it open for a second one because there's multiple books.
Right.
If they were trying to do that, but either way, it was really good. I thought they did a really good job with what they had.
From what I know about Dark Tower is, like, if they were gonna go right off the books, that movie's like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's it's like, it's like 3 or 4 tomes of books.
So
it's huge.
They just kind of picked in a few pieces, but I thought they did a really good.
I think they did a condensed good
really
job.
Good.
Yeah.
And it leaves it open for. Spoiler alert! It leaves it open for a possible another one to continue the other stories.
Yeah, because
and I think more
went with
epic.
him at the end.
Yeah, he goes with them at the end. But I mean, it's just kind of an example we had put down. We want to talk about like movies that get pandered, and it's like, honestly, stop. You can look at it like if it's you want to see how Avengers is doing and what people are thinking about Star Wars because that's your favorite movie or your favorite series. You want to think people see.
Don't do it.
Don't do it
because people don't allow other people to enjoy things
because it's not their vision.
Yeah,
it's
because
not what they wanted.
They like.
It's not what they wanted it to be.
It's not what they like, so they won't allow other people to enjoy it.
I'm even guilty of myself with The Last Jedi. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. Did that make it a bad movie? No. Was there bad things in it? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Was it the best Star Wars movie? No. Was it a good movie that had great Star Wars things in it? Absolutely. But that you enjoy movies for what they were. We've already talked about guilty pleasures. Mine, Adventures of Pluto Nash. It's a horrible movie, but it has things about it that bring it back to my childhood, that remember the simpler time. And there's just things about it that crack me up. I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy, so I tend to go on these kicks where I can't figure out what I want to watch, so I'll just pick an actor I like. Which movies of these I haven't watched? You know how many Bill Murray movies are out there that I never seen and don't know about? And I love Bill Murray.
A lot of like rom-coms.
A lot of those. And it's just, that's the thing about movies. Just don't care about what people tell you. It could be your mom, it could be your spouse, it could be your girlfriend, it could be your friends with Benedicts. It doesn't matter. Watch it for yourself and find out.
Yeah, just watch it for yourself, man.
Honestly, yeah, I was like, man, I hear on this Dog Tower is really bad, but everything I saw in the trailer looked cool. It was a really big board game and a series and book back then, and my father and family members were a big fan of it. So I was like, you know what, yeah, I want to see what they saw. Obviously, I saw something completely different from what they remember, and maybe they didn't like it. Just like we're the generation now, we grew up with Star Wars, they grew up with that, and when it happens, like. What's a movie example? Wild Wild West. People flipped out when Will Smith was Jim West, because in the original TV show, Jim West was white guy. Yeah. And then you got this show that was originally this and originally that. Then people are really mad about the James Bond thing because everyone's talking about Idris Elba could be the first black James Bond. Guess what? Idris Elba is amazing. Go ahead, make him one. Does that ruin the other James Bond movies? No. Because if you're a huge James Bond nerd, I think we all can agree on that James Bond's a code name. Yeah, always has been, always will be. He's not a real person.
It's just J007.
The 007,
J007, that's his call sign.
Now, according to Skyfall, which is one of the best James Bond movies in my opinion, that's not necessarily true, but they could have got it from that particular one, and that's why they use the name. That's how you do things in movies. Yeah. He could still be black. Yeah. Honestly, do you think he's going to be like the one forever? No, because for one thing, he's really old. So he's probably only got 1, 2, maybe 3 movies if he ever did it. And then guess what? He'll have another James Bond. Right. We talked about it the other day. Like, I didn't agree with you at first, but I kind of am in a feeling that I think it's almost about time to stop.
Yeah, it's time to stop with James Bond.
I think you need to do one more of this. Daniel Craig, obviously, that's coming out. Yeah. Idris Elba. Yeah. And then I think there should be one more. And what do I think it should be? I think it should be a biopic with Sean Connery.
I think it should just be all the James Bonds get to meet up
and just
in a secret meeting, and then they have to they become a squad.
Right. A video game turned into a movie. Yeah. All the ones remaining alive. Bam, we're here, we're meeting. Everything makes sense now.
Everything, the quote unquote the high table once it's all dead or something like that.
And what is it? What's the bad guys in James Bond?
Anybody and everybody.
I'm drawing a blank here.
You got Dr. No.
Well, no, I mean the organization. It's God, I hate when that happens. It's has the octopus Spectre. They even made a movie about it. It's because that movie's horrible. It's the worst James Bond, one of the worst James Bond I think that they made. That's why.
Couldn't think of it. Spectre.
Yeah, exactly. And then they like Spectre knows, and you have to get together, and maybe one of the James Bond dies. He's been dead. Maybe the George Lazenby one.
Something like that.
But yeah. Anyway, I know we got a little off track there, but we were talking about movies that you just watch them, because don't ignore everything you see, judge for yourself, and go on from there, because we like to watch movies and maybe something we didn't watch because so many movies have come out over the last 20 years, and obviously you watch the most popular ones and a bunch get passed over. Just like any other era, you'll watch a good movie from this era and a good movie from that era. Obviously you're missing like a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. But like we watched G.I. Joes recently.
Yeah, both of them.
Dark Tower, by the way, I gave a 4 out of 5. I believe you gave a...
You gave it a 4 out of 5.
He gave it a 4 out of 5, Mose. Yeah. Which is, a very good score.
Awesome.
And then we watched the G.I. Joe's movies. I'm sorry, I got off topic. And the first one, we gave a 4 out of 5. And the second one, Retaliation, I gave 3.5 out of 5.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5.
So we're pretty much the same feeling. I think number 2 goes a little bit more along in the comics and the TV show a little bit.
But I definitely like the first one better.
But the first one is better. How they become the Joes and the characters that are in it and the training and all that.
Because a lot of the stuff in the second one is just rehashed from the first one. Like, I was just sitting there calling it out.
Right, they just kind of added things like, guess what? You didn't know.
Oh, spoiler if you don't know. Oh, now Duke's dead.
Yeah, Duke's dead. Zartan killed the master. And, Storm Shadow didn't do it.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know about this.
Weird angles. There was cool action, but weird angles. And honestly, you didn't see, still spoiler, where you didn't see Channing Tatum actually die.
Yeah, you didn't see him actually.
And because of nanobites in G.I. Joe world, obviously something can happen to him.
He could come back to life for a third movie.
You never know. Because at first I thought it's still a spoiler alert that in retaliation that the first body The Rock goes to, everyone at first when they thought that was Channing Tatum. That's not Channing Tatum. He got blown up and then he's just gone. Which obviously I think he got captured.
He found his dog tags. I know because Bruce Willis picked him up out of the pile.
So he found his tags, but he didn't find.
But he didn't find his body though. So yeah.
So, but that's just but you have to watch to see for yourself because obviously you go on to the rating systems
Rotten
and you
Tomatoes
look at
or something like that.
Retaliation's awful. It's bad. It's like 18%, like 4 out of 10 on IMDb. You know, it's like 32% on Metacritic.
Just check it out.
Just check it out for yourself. At least at least with this movie. It is a direct sequel. It's a continuation. You know, everything is the same. The story, everything happened before.
And if you're just into action movies, just check it out anyway.
Just check it out anyway.
You know, who cares?
I mean, I veered off of the Star Wars Disneys because there's all kinds of, Star Wars information lately, which is good because we're closing in. Apparently, the new trailer, the name is going to be revealed soon. I'm not going to lie, I have no idea what the heck is taking so long with dropping the name.
No.
I honestly think it's because they don't know.
I think they did a couple of little test audiences, and they were like, "Oh no, it's not working." So now we have to come up with a bunch of different ones.
It's got to connect. It has to be the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi from something, or
the Force Awakens,
or
the Last Jedi.
4. It has to flow. It can't be the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi from his sleep.
For the universe.
For the universe, like that. It's got to flow.
That's kind of cool.
So yeah, I kind of like that.
Force Awakens, the Last Jedi for the universe. Yeah. Something
or
like
for
that.
the rebellion.
For the rebellion.
Something. It's got a role, in my opinion. But the good news, it's honestly at first it was amazing news, but the good news, it's kind of good news, bad news, is that Lucasfilm is back in action, and they're taking over, Star Wars video games.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that EA is done. Apparently, these guys have been doing it all along. They're basically just helping EA until I guess the license drops away, or
that's kind of good because when the license drops away, maybe all these microtransactions and all this BS will just drop with it.
I mean, it's just time to stop focusing on a couple of games and continue to give us different styles like there used to be. There should be a There should be a space game. There should be a fighter game. There should be on the ground another
Star
one.
Wars
there should be a story.
Obi-Wan, the character games.
Another turn. I'm not a turn-based fan. Give another turn-based. Knights of the Old Republic's the best-selling Star Wars game of all time.
Yep.
And then Rogue Squadron's there. Shadows of the Empire. Make those kind of games for us. Story-driven. And they keep canceling.
Shadows of the Empire HD.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Something. In Real Engine. Yeah. Shadows of the Empire.
That'd be dope.
Things of that nature. And
Rogue Squadron
they got fans
HD,
doing these things, man.
Stuff.
And you're telling me you guys can't? I don't buy it. So that is good news that it seems to be that we're on the up and up when it comes to EA getting the heck out of Star Wars because, honestly, we've been playing a lot of Battlefront 2, and they've done a lot of cool things in it, but it's still EA. The issues and having to be on EA and the servers, and EA needs to stick with sports, man, and that way you're
stick
focused.
Stick with what you know.
Stick with what you know.
Yeah.
There's even other games that EA's done in the back of the day. Stick to those, the good things, but leave Star Wars alone. It's too much for y'all to handle.
It's not going to be yours for much longer.
It doesn't need to be either.
No.
So, that's pretty much, as far as movies, like you said, we've talked so much about, movies you want to see, movies are coming out. But on the, topic of TV and movies, we got Game of Thrones coming out in April. Can't wait. We just finished season 7 again.
Binge watched it,
kind of catch up and, remember what exactly is going on. I only, missed a few things from the first time, so it's kind of good to be on the catch up. I know we were talking about it, so many people are going to die, and no one is safe. No one's ever been safe, but in this season, obviously, this is
everyone's gonna die.
I just don't know. I don't even know if I see anyone sitting on the Iron Throne. I really don't. I see it being destroyed for crying out loud. I don't know.
See it being melted by the spoiler alert zombie dragon. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, if you haven't watched season 7, seriously, get on it. And I know everyone's probably people listening right now are like, I'm on season 6. I'm about to get to 7.
Sorry, I just ruined it for you.
Yeah, but spoiler alert, we'll try
the
best.
The Night King totally throws his sweet spear straight into a dragon's heart. It's crazy.
Like all his blood pumps out at once.
Yeah, all
it's
at once.
Ridiculous. It's a
nuts.
perfect shot. But anyway, yeah, nerding out here. Very, thank God, Game of Thrones is back. I know they scared everyone last year when they're like, it's going to be like 2 years until you get any more Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it was BS.
Just like Rick and Morty at the end. Yeah, it's going to be a long time.
Mr.
Poopy Butthole. Probably around Christmas or something. And obviously they're working on it now, and it's going to be out sooner than, the 3 years they kind of made you think.
Yeah.
So, but that's just the way they do it. I mean, even in trailers nowadays, like the new Avengers Endgame, the director and everything is like, the trailer's lying to you.
Yep.
Because, like, pretty much they all have recently, the last few movies. So anything you see in the trailer is probably BS.
Yep.
Probably has nothing to do with the movie.
It's just
that person's not really there.
And,
there's the theory that in the trailer, when you see Tony Stark in the white suit with Captain America, that's not really Tony Stark.
Right, that's like Ant-Man or something
somebody,
like that.
It's somebody taking this place because obviously he's still in space.
In space,
floating around with Nebula.
Yeah.
So you just don't believe what you see in trailers anymore. I was at the point where it's like I think trailers just show too much of the movie, but lately trailers really haven't ruined it because
kind of mopped it up a little bit since last big blockbuster summer.
Exactly.
Because last time, they just told you the entire movie
pretty much
in the trailers, but now. This year, it seems a little more cut together, a little more edited,
right. And that goes along with the whole Star Wars thing, too, which I think they haven't said the name yet because their trailer isn't ready yet, and they want to make sure it's cut the way they want and make you believe what, you think you're going to see, and it's got it perfect for everybody. So, which is fine, And do it when it's right, don't rush it. No need to rush things, which lots of things have done.
Don't force it.
Yeah, so don't, exactly, especially with, like, video game movies like, Halo and Uncharted, don't rush those things. You can make it happen, but don't rush them. But we were talking about before the show about like nostalgia with movies and games and kind of jumping in and TV shows that we wanted to see or that was just a really big part of our life, and it goes along with everyone kind of wanting to know about us a little more.
Yeah.
We were talking about like our favorite animated shows, and then we were talking about underrated animated and like underrated Disney animated films that no one's talking about. When it comes to favorite animated shows, like what's your top 3? If you had to choose 3 animated TV shows, and that's all you think you could watch, what are they going to be? And it could be anime, it could be adult animated sitcom.
I have to go. I got to go. Dragon Ball Z #1.
Okay.
Actually, anything under the Dragon Ball umbrella. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, that's your number
Either
1.
3 of those.
Right.
My #1 would be Dragon Ball Z, I guess, out of the 3 of those.
Okay.
And then number 2 would be Futurama, for sure.
Very good call.
I love Futurama.
Can't go wrong.
And number 3 would probably be South Park. I have to go South Park.
A lot of seasons, a lot of episodes.
Oh, yeah. Lots of good stuff in there.
Family Guy's kind of close to that. I mean, obviously, The Simpsons has a lot of episodes, but
right.
That's pretty good choices.
Yeah.
Futurama's definitely on my list. Futurama is actually number 1 on my list, and it's because of the full length movie episodes, all the seasons that there are. Thankfully, I mean, there's the 5 original, and then there's season 6 is basically the movies, and then you have 7, 8, 9.
Right, the Beast with a Billion Backs.
Right,
and
exactly. Bender's Big Game.
Beyond the Green Yonder.
Right.
Whatever that one is.
The Big Green Yonder. Yeah, I don't really know if that's exactly what it is either, but I know exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
So Futurama for me is my number 1. My number 2 is South Park, so that would be your number 3, but South Park would be my number 2. And I thought about it earlier because there's so many, and it's like, what would if I had to choose 3? What's it going to be, and that I could put up? It's got to be Family Guy, and it's got to be Family Guy because I like 98% of Family Guy. So there are episodes in there where I'm just like.
Right.
Like maybe a Meg-filled episode or maybe like a musical episode that's just too much to handle.
Right.
But I have to say Family Guy would definitely be on there. Like
it's in my top 5 for sure.
Right, in your top 5. Yeah, I mean, top 5s are just so hard because like the 4th is just left out, and then obviously 5, there's 6, and then it just goes to 10. So 3 is just a little bit
right.
Like there's a top 3 to go to. We know what we choose afterwards, but we're going like genie tactics. You get 3 choices.
3 choices.
Underrated show in my opinion is like right now that's going on is probably Bob's Burgers. because like I know it's not exactly when it first came out. The very first episode, in fact, it was supposed to be a completely different show. It's supposed to be like Sweeney Todd style, and they
weird.
ate people, and they served human flesh. That was the whole point of the show, and it was kind of a joke in the first show because that's why they get like. I think they get like an inspector comes in, and then they just were like, nah, we're not doing that. And I know that like made a lot of people mad or whatever, but and so people don't watch it. But to me, it's underrated, especially like the first 3 seasons. I think they're on like season 9 right now, actually. But to me, that's the most underrated TV show I could say. Do you have one?
Underrated? I don't know. I don't know about underrated, but it's like less. I guess Archer. It's less popular. I
Right,
suppose.
which that's a really good show.
I
And
really
it's the
like
same voice
Archer,
in that
yeah.
as the same voice in Bob's Burgers. You
Yeah.
know, the guy from Family Guy and all that good
My
stuff.
dad
He's
loves
amazing.
that show. I love that
Right.
show.
Yeah, he does the
Yeah.
Arby's commercials now, which is pretty cool. So he's pretty cool. It's weird to put the face to him though. I didn't know that's what.
Yeah, it's strange.
I didn't know that's what he looked like. It's just like Billy West, the
Yeah.
voice of Futurama and all the great characters. Speaking of Billy West, I mean seriously, that guy. I had no idea that. How many different voices and how long he's been in the game and how many things he's actually done. Like you go on
so
his
much
IMDb
stuff.
and it's ridiculous. He just has this huge giant line of
Probably
voices.
just like loaded too. He's probably richer than
Right.
Rob Gronkowski.
Right, it's even like just seconds. He's just been on things for like 2 seconds. He's been like a dog barking and a person breathing and all kinds of just robot voices and beeping and booping. He does it
Ren
all.
and Stimpy, and
Right.
he was Ren in that. Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Oh,
was
he's
he?
both
Was
of
he
them.
both?
He's both.
Yeah,
of
he was
them.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty much what 90% of Futurama.
Yeah, he's pretty much 90% of Futurama.
He used to do things on Family Guy, if I'm correct, and not.
I've done a few things
I
here or
think he's
there.
done a few things here and there, but
That's his MO,
That's his MO. That's true. That's very true. We were talking about the underrated and our favorite like obscure Disney movies. There's a lot of them out there. And what was you said you had a favorite that we were talking about recently? That's kind of it was maybe popular when it first came out. And I know there's a lot of people know about it, but
Oh yeah, it's Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
right? And Michael J. Fox is
Oh,
the
yeah.
main voice guy of that movie,
It's
right?
so awesome. Just
It's a really good movie.
really good. The animation's amazing in it. Like it's just I really like.
It's got a really good story.
I like the story of Atlantis, and
Right,
it just
the
puts this
animation's really cool.
mystical,
It's comedy and action and drama and
It's got
everything.
the team. It's got the team base to it and all
Right.
that stuff, like the mole man and
Yes.
what else? The big mechanic guy and the chef guy and all that stuff. Yeah, I just really enjoy team based movies like that.
Right.
So yeah, man, what's your favorite underrated Disney movie?
I mean,
I don't know about underrated, but less popular.
like less popular. I mean, Treasure Planet. I mean, it's definitely like in there, but I don't know if it's. I mean,
It's
a
a
lot
good
of people.
one.
A lot of people do technically know that one, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to say Treasure Planet. To be honest with you, it's just because especially when Atlantis came out and Treasure Planet came out. If you look up the years, like so many movies, other movies came out around it and pretty much
yeah.
dominated.
Yeah.
It was still the Toy Story era, and then Incredibles came soon, and then all that kind of
it was
stuff
kind of in
took over.
theaters and then left.
Yeah, just kind of bounced out. Like there are like obscure live action Disney movies that people don't know about, like both the Tron movies I think are great. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people know Tron obviously because Jeff Bridges, but I mean a lot of people don't really, because if you've seen the first one, I mean it's great and all, but it's kind of garbage at the same time.
It's kind of not good.
It's kind of not that good. It was really great back then.
Talking about the one from the '80s, right? Where they're just throwing like
It's
real
just so
frisbees at each
bland
other, and
and the new one I really like, but I like the new one for different reasons. I like the soundtrack. I like the Jeff Bridges character in
Like
that
the
movie.
sweet
the
Daft Punk
story,
blaring in the back. Heck yeah.
Cool soundtrack, the arcade nostalgia. Things are just really cool about that movie. But Flight of the Navigator.
Never seen it.
That's a Disney movie that's what I'm saying. Not too
Never
many
seen
people
it.
know about.
What about the Rocketeer? Is that a Disney movie or is that something else?
Is the Rocketeer Disney?
I don't know.
Rocketeer might be Disney.
I'm gonna look it up.
You're looking it up now. Rocketeer and Disney. But I think they're redoing the Flight Navigator. I know a few of you out there, but it's, basically this spaceship comes and this kid travels kind of through time, and he's still young, and he needs to get back to his time, and this alien did it on accident, and it's this really cool journey, really cool ship, really cool story. It's just one of those obscure movies that Disney's come out with, which, there's tons out there, like Swiss Family Robinson.
It is a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie.
Yep.
Rocketeer.
The Rocketeer.
Rocketeer sucks. Don't ever watch it.
Can suck.
If you're
Suck
like,
it.
oh my god, it's like Boba Fett. No, it's not. It's not anything
it's
where
not.
close. It's a horrible movie.
I liked watching it when I was a kid,
Right.
but
Right.
other
No,
than that,
it's too cheesy. It's too weird, and graphics are terrible, and acting is terrible, and the actor that did it is like nobody. And
oh yeah.
it's just not worth your dang time.
So says the guy that just said, "Go watch it for yourself."
Yeah, I mean, do go watch it for yourself. As a matter of fact, go watch Phantoms with Ben Affleck real quick.
Oh yeah, watch that.
Watch it for yourself.
Watch that movie.
You know what I'm saying? So Affleck, you the bomb in Phantoms, yo. I mean, seriously. There's so many movies. We're never going to be able to watch all of them.
No.
So it's just kind of like I said, I go kind of by what actors and obscure. But the reason why I even started to talk about it in the first place is because we were trying to rent a movie last night, and I'm going through the list, and it's like everything I see on there, I know about. I've heard a few of them are good, but nothing like over the last 3 years is just. Like catches you like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to see that. I'm gonna spend money to watch that, and it's just like, now just wait till it comes on the streaming service or something. And that's the kind of the crappy part. It's just like I'm willing to spend the money to rent a movie, and there's just
nothing to rent.
And then it's like they ignore movies that have come out before that were big hits and aren't on anything. And they're just like, yeah, good luck renting that because somebody's got the rights to it and it's on their streaming service or their whatever.
Everywhere you go to rent a movie is the exact same movies. Like we were on Xbox for a while. And
we
then
went on everything.
We went to Voodoo.
We went on almost everything, and everybody's got the same list of movies.
Same exact movies. It's crazy.
It's just been like a bad video.
The only good one is like Google Movies and TV.
Right, I mean, because that's pretty much
they got
everything.
like everything in there. Yeah.
Right.
But
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy streaming services. Obviously, it's convenient and it's a lot of selection you can flip through. But it's basically becoming like TV. You're just flipping through channels.
It's like 90% trash.
I mean, even on Hulu. I mean, it's just Hulu's got this, so you go to Hulu and watch that.
But hey, it might not be 90% trash. Somebody out there.
I mean, exactly.
Apparently, the Netflix executives go along with it.
People play, drinking games and stuff to Netflix and watch their crappy movies and
right.
That's why I'm saying watch it for yourself, of course. But it's just. I don't know. The movie quality over the last couple of years, unless it's been Star Wars or Avengers or John Wick or something in a trilogy,
budget.
it's just nothing. There's
Nothing
just nothing that screams, man, I really want to watch that. I mean,
because I've already seen it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I'm sure the rest of the year, obviously, more movies will get released, and they'll be like, oh, I totally forgot about that, because that's just the way it happens. Like you remember back in the day, the movie theater. Go back in the day when you went to movie theaters. Like there was 4 or 2 or 1 screen.
Yeah.
And like when Jurassic Park came out, guess what? It was Jurassic Park and
Jurassic Park and that
Back
one
to Future 3.
Yeah.
Or something. You know what I mean? So it's like you had 2 movies and then that was it. Now you go to the movies, there's like 6 and 7 and 8, and this movie is a special plan. And every weekend now, there's just so many that come out. And so much garbage that comes out. But, you have to watch for yourself. But, I mean, obviously,
you check it out.
Everyone is like, oh, I'm not going to watch that. There are movies, of course, I'll never watch. The crappy Ghostbusters movie. I'm sorry, I suck. Ghostbusters movie, I'm never going to watch that.
Nope.
Black Panther, I know enough about it. Never going to watch that.
No.
The English Patient, I'm never going to watch that because guess what? Saving Private Ryan should have won Best Picture that year.
Yep.
Going back to 1999. So I mean, there's just, there's movies I'll never watch, but it's just the quality of movies we're starting to get into the new millennium of movies, and it's just kind of, it's appealing to a different audience, as I understand.
It's just recycled stuff. That's all it is, just recycled storylines.
Too many reboots,
too many sequels.
Like the new Suicide Squad is a complete reboot, even though it's Suicide Squad 2. And, and they're doing the Harley thing. Like DC's a mess, and Marvel's timeline is kind of a mess, and with the TV shows, and
Like some of the movie timelines are doing really well, like Star Wars and Avengers and all that Marvel stuff, and some just aren't. Some things aren't taking off because it's just a rehash of something old. Right. Or it's just a rehash.
Original ideas are very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And then when people do get original ideas, people pander it for not being, well, you didn't do it like this. Mm-hmm. You should have made it just like the other one. Mm-hmm. And it's just, that's not gonna happen. That's why you have the other ones.
Yeah.
So. Hey, that being said, we're on borderline an hour. That's the fastest hour we've had in I Don't Know show history, if you want to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
This is kind of roll over. Time flies. I mean, time flies when you're having fun. But, the future of the I Don't Know show is very bright. We have great things coming. I mean, we preached that from the beginning. And it's only going to get better. You stay patient with us. We are going to give you the best that we got. We got when the news comes, we'll drop it. We'll probably be doing a thing where if something does happen like really fast when we start doing video, we'll pop on and give you hey, guess what? This is happening in your neck of the woods. Just something to update you. That way, a week doesn't go by and we're giving you information that you already know about,
right?
That you've known about for a week from maybe other favorite podcasts or other shows that you watch. But you support us, we support you.
Yeah.
Help us to help you. That's kind of what we're doing. We want bands. We want aspiring actors. We want aspiring writers. We want people that are aspiring to do in business, run their own company. We want to hear from you. We want to know. Leave your message in the comments. Send us an email. Get a hold of us any way you can. There's lots of ways you can do that.
Yeah.
But we want. That's a big reason.
Promote you.
We want to promote you. I mean, we're not promoters, but we want to help promote you. As part of us doing this show, where we could just sit here. And yes, we could just not have anything on the docket, and we could be like, "Oh yeah, hey, I remember," or we could talk about this, or just nothing happens too much around here, so we give you what we like to hear about or what we're interested in, and we hope that you're interested in that. Where we give you a little bit of variety with the sports and the movies and the TV. So, I mean, the bottom line is that this is just fun to us, even sometimes when we don't even have things we want to talk about, and we're doing it for the fans. It's still enjoyable to do. Right. It might be hard to get into, but then once you get rolling, and it's the whole experience. Hey, if you want to start your own, go for it. If you want to, record you playing games and stream it live, do it. If you want to make videos, do it. Get out there and do it. Just pick it up. That's all we did. We basically started with a cell phone and a camcorder, and then now we're here. Now we're at this, and I mean, I didn't think we weren't close to this. We just wanted to do it for fun and see what happened. And now it's turning into this thing where it's more than that. It's gonna be more than that, and we're gonna make sure it is. Right. So help us to help you to make this the #1 podcast in Missouri, and this is the #1 podcast in Missouri of all things, according to people that we know. Their biased opinions. And, that being said, guys, it's been a great show. Charlie, I had a lot of fun. This has been the I Don't Know Show, Episode 7. I'm Nathan J.
I'm Charlie P.
And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one, guys.
Later.
Peace.